Coffee and Conversations with the one and only J-Man. Your morning will never be the same. Here we go.
Good morning. You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J-Man on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other platforms that you get your podcast from. Even Alexa can't make it do what it do. I hope you all have a great week and that it's been a wonderful week. We do have a storm at the bottom of Florida that is crossing over Florida right now. So hopefully my listeners down in that area are taken care of, that you all are safe and sound, and that you all are out of harm's way. Those that's here in Georgia, where I am now, please be prepared tonight to receive some of those winds and rain that's coming our way. So make sure they are saying that if you have anything on the outside that's loose, make sure you pour those things in so that they won't become a hazard, a flying hazard. So make sure you do what you need to do. Stay safe, stay prepared, and be ready. Let me give a shout out to everyone. Let's see who's in the chat room. Yogi, what's going on, dear? Thank you so much for being on with us today, this morning. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. To all of my other listeners that may be listening, whether live or doing the on-demand version of the show. Good morning to you all. A good day whenever you're listening to it. Good morning, good day to all of you all. I pray that you all are doing great. I don't see Nurse Rachel on, but to the Emory Winship Cancer Center Warriors, my Emory Winship Warriors, good morning to you all. Love you guys. Make sure you stay focused on what you need to do. Stay prepared. Listen to your trainers. Listen to your trainers. your doctors, your nurses, all of those people. And let me give a shout out to them while we're speaking of to my Winship warriors and the trainers. That's the doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, psychologists, all of those people that take care of my warriors. Good morning to you. Or there go Nurse Rachel. Good morning to you, dear. Thank you so much for being on and keeping us connected. We have we're still waiting on the results it looks like we're going to end up having a runoff. Looks like Kemp is our governor again. So shout out to him. We just make sure we pray for our leaders. Again, make sure we pray for our leaders as they lead this country, this state, our county, our cities into a better direction. So make sure we're praying for them as well. I wanted to have a conversation about something. I heard a preacher say, and he was talking about popcorn and how important it is to put oil on the popcorn, because the oil on the popcorn is what makes it pop. And he said, always go back and look in, when you finish, look at the bottom. You'll see that there are kernels that did not pop. And he suggested that it was because it was no oil on the popcorn. Although I understand his mindset of where he was going with it. But the truth of the matter is this. Inside every kernel of corn, there is a bead of water. There's a bead of water. And it is that bead of water, when it is heated up, it causes the kernel to burst open. It causes the kernel to burst open. It's not what's on the outside that makes the kernel burst or reach its full potential. It's not what's on the outside that's coating it, but it is what's on the inside. What's on the inside that causes it to burst. What am I saying? I don't care how well we dress up. I don't care how well we put our get our hair done, fried, dyed, laid to the side. I don't care how well we put on makeup. I don't care how sharp our beards look. What size eyelashes you decide to wear today. What clothes you put on your on your body, and I don't care if the shoes you have on have red bottoms. It is not those things that can make you reach your full potential, but rather it is what's on the inside of you that gives you the fuel to reach your full potential. It's what's on the inside of you. It's the gumption on the inside of you that causes you to reach that goal, to reach that plateau, to reach that new way of doing this, that, and the other. The thing that makes you reach your full potential, just like a kernel of oil. A kernel of popcorn corn, a kernel of popcorn, a kernel of corn. There it is. A kernel of corn. It's not what you put on the outside when you put it in a pot that causes it to burst. It's that small bead of water or what's on the inside of that kernel that causes it to explode. Some kernels come out huge. Some come out small. Some may open, but they may never open completely up into a popcorn. It still have the hard shell around it, but it's cracked. You see, when we take inventory, which we've been talking about all year long, when we take inventory of what's on the inside of us and use what's on the inside of us to the fullest, not sometimes doing it this way, not sometimes doing it that way, not, you're in somebody else's box that they have you in and you're only able to use a small amount of who you truly are. No, you're going to have to get outside of the box. I don't like microwaves that much. I hate microwaves. But I use popcorn that I can cook on the stove. And I too thought that it was the oil that was causing it to burst. Now, the oil helped cause the kernel on the outside to get hotter, but it's mainly for flavor. That's why when you go to the popcorn place, they don't sell like basic oil. They sell flavored oil, buttery flavored oil. It's for flavoring. Everything that you do on the outside of you is nothing but flavor. When you dress up a certain way, when you put on your eyelashes, when you put on your weave, when you do all of that stuff is for flavor. That's just to give you something, a new flavor, make you stand out different. But what's on the inside of you is what's going to sustain you. How you look does not mean that they have this, and I hate that the church use this conversation, fake it till you make it. The problem is too many people get convinced when they start faking it. That by faking it, I can stay here because it looked like I have what I want. It looks like, instead of really digging down on the inside of you and allowing that small bead of water, that tiny bead of water to explode on the inside of you, your gift, allowing it to explode on the inside of you. We can't afford any more days to go by not being who we are. And you know what it is because every time somebody asks you to do a specific thing, they come to you to ask you to do this specific thing because it's easy to you. You don't even have to think about it. You didn't have to go to school for it. You didn't have to get any lesson. You didn't have to get a mentor. This just came easy to you. But when you allow people to hone in on your gift and box you in on your gift, you will not explode the manner you have to do it for yourself. Last night, matter of fact, I made me some popcorn to sit on the patio, and I put the oil in. Here's what's good about this. When I put the kernels in the pot with the butter flavor stuff, I realized one thing. Some kernels was easier to burst than others. It took some of them the other ones, it took some time. It took more heat. As a matter of fact, I had to take the pot and shake it a little bit, agitate it a little bit. I had to agitate, more heat, more agitation. A lot of us are at a place in life, and you're trying to find out, when is it my turn? I got good news for you. The reason why you have not burst is not that you have not been trying. This is not for everybody. This is not some of y'all been lazy. I'll tell the truth. Some of y'all just been lazy. But the ones that have been out working and you've been trying and it seems like too many stuff has failed in your life, in your direction, and you just trying to figure. Here's good news. The bigger kernels heats up more. It takes more. So sometimes it takes some agitation. Your life, it requires for you to have a little bit more heat because you need to be bigger. Who you are is bigger than other people. You got more in you than other people. Since you have more in you, it's going to take more to heat up what's on the inside of you. So don't feel weary that you haven't exploded yet, that you haven't reached your destiny, you haven't reached your peak. It's because it's more on the inside of you that when your gift becomes will become available for everybody to see, everything that you went through in life is going to be worthwhile. All of the heartache, all of the pain that you went through, all of the disappointments that you went through, all of the loss that you've had in life, when your kernel finally bursts, you're going to see why you had to go through some of the things that you went through. Yes, I know you may be envious that somebody else has gotten there. I know that you may be spiritually jealous that someone else has gotten this over here. You know how we do. We was mentoring a lady on TikTok there. She said she was jealous that all of her friends were married. I know people that are jealous of titles in churches that I want that title. Why can't, and people are in a rush to get titles and positions and relationships and the list goes on. But you have to wait to what's on the inside, because when what's on the inside explodes, what's on the inside of you explodes. You bringing more to the table. I know y'all don't like that when I say you bringing stuff to the table, but when you do that, you bring more to the table. You bring more to what this world has been waiting on. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, as you walk this journey of life, consider yourself to be a corn kernel, a kernel of corn. And remember this. Remember that on the inside, is something small. This small bead of water that's on the inside of that kernel. That's something that's on the inside of you. Now, some of us have already exploded. Some of us are doing what we do. Some of us, we still have more in us. You're more than just one kernel. You're more than just one kernel. There are gifts and talents on the inside of you that's just ready to explore, that's just ready to explode, that is just ready to expand. But you have to be willing to go through what you need to go through in order for those gifts and those talents to show itself. Don't settle for just anything. Don't settle for just anything. And there are many different ways. There are many different ways to get that sting on the inside of that kernel of you, to get that thing. Some people use a pot like I do. Some people use a microwave. Some people even use a air popper. It uses air to help explode the popcorn. You are unique. You are uniquely made. As the fingerprints on your fingers, you're just as unique as them. Don't slow yourself or stunt your growth because you're in a hurry. Don't stunt your growth because you're trying to do it other people's way. Don't allow your full potential to reach itself because of a number of things that will cause distractions that will cause distractions for you. Don't be distracted. Stay focused on what you need to stay focused on. Stay in the pot as long as you need to stay in the pot. Don't sell yourself short. Don't just, the reason why I shake the pot is so that the one side of the kernel doesn't stay on its side too long. So I get it heated on both sides. Sometimes you got to keep moving. Sometimes you got to try every angle of yourself. Sometimes you got to be this, sometimes that, sometimes this, sometimes. Sometimes you have to use all of you. Use all of you. Use all of you, all of the gifts, all of the talents that you have. And watch what a unique person. You're going to be able to stand and look all around you and realize there is nobody like you. Some people there are plenty of people out there that makes cake. But can't nobody do it like you. There are people out there that can preach good sermons, but can't nobody preach like you. Do it. Don't try to fit in. Some people are just not meant to fit. Some people are just not to fit in certain areas. You're supposed to stand out. You're supposed to stand out. Be satisfied, ladies and gentlemen, as I bring this message to a close. This podcast to a close. Remember, what's on the inside of you has to be heeded. What's on the inside of you has to be heeded. Not like the preacher who suggested that the reason why the kernels didn't pop was because of they didn't have oil on it. I understand what he was trying to say. I understand what the point that he was trying to make. But it's not what's on the outside. It's not what's on the outside that causes the kernel to burst. You can dress up all you want to. Put your makeup, eyelashes, whatever. Get all of that stuff. You can dress up all you want. Put on the nicest suit. Have a nice fresh cut. That's all on the outside. But if you never heat that bead of water that's on the inside of that kernel would never burst into its full potential. Be you and do you. Be you and do you. All right, I appreciate you all so much for hanging out with me this week. It was a pleasure having you all. Remember, those that's in Florida coming up the East Coast, y'all make sure y'all stay safe. I know down in Florida, it's crossing over Florida into the Panhandle now, but it's supposed to make a turn up to Georgia, so we're going to get some of that wind and rain tonight. The clouds are already rolling in. If you look outside, the clouds and stuff are already here. So make sure you take in the things that you need to take in off your patios and things like that. All right, you all be safe. I'll see you all on the flip side of things. Holla. All right, bye.
in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. World won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Wake up all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hair. But they don't have so very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we could do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it